Last time you saw us, we were walking the gardens of Silver Springs, taking the famous glass-bottom boat tour, and paddling the Silver River, soaking in an incredible view and enjoying an abundance of wildlife. We're still moving south and plan to visit several spots in Central Florida. We'll make our base camp at Lake Griffin State Park. The park is relatively small compared to other Florida state parks with only 40 campsites. It's so close to town you can actually hear the road noise just outside the park. We had a nice spot, but it's a good thing the Hubs is good at backing our camper Miss Kitty, because it was tight, really tight. Because we're surrounded by several lakes, we headed out early, hoping to find a good sunrise view. We didn't catch a great sunrise, but we did discover a strange new world. One of my favorite things to do is investigate different areas of the country and observe the unique culture of the area. Lake Sumter Landing is one of the 3 town squares that's part of a master planned community called the Villages. It definitely fits into its own category of unique culture. It was designed to accommodate active 55-plus individuals. Transportation by golf carts is common, and the buildings are shiny and new, but made to look old and nostalgic. Actually, it looks a lot like Disneyland for old people. The gardens were lovely, the shops were interesting, and it was a beautiful place to walk around.
Is over in the village of Bel Air. A white lab, he's about 70 pounds. His name is Bo, and he made a run for it yesterday.
Still curious, we decided to drive around. You know we love looking at different architecture of an area. It's reported that there are 78 different villages within the Villages. This number is growing. The communities are built for golf cart transportation with over 100 miles of golf cart paths. Housing prices range from affordable to over $1 million. Another interesting fact is the Villages is home to one of the highest concentrations of veterans of any community in the nation. Over 230 pickleball courts, 2,700 social clubs, a polo stadium, an archery range, a woodworking shop, a lifelong learning college, and a boatload of golf courses. Wow, I guess you wouldn't be bored here. Enough of that world. Let's get back to the simple things in life, nature. There are 2 main trails totaling 2 miles at Lake Griffin State Park. They were both nice, but we found the spur trail to be the most interesting. We continued our walk to check out the rest of the park. There's a big surprise here, but we'll save that till the end. Lake Griffin offers eco-tours via a pontoon boat. If you're interested, check their schedule before you come. When we were there, the tours were only offered on a very limited basis and fill up fast. Of course, an eco-tour can't guarantee what or how many animals you'll see, but each trip is narrated with interesting facts about the area. We took the shorter of the 2 trips, which only took us up the Dead River. Take the longer trip if you want to see Lake Griffin and the nesting birds.
Rarely ever a snake. So, you know, if you like snakes, I got bad news for you. We almost never see them, okay?
So what do you do when it rains? Watch old movies, of course. But the Hubs isn't one to sit around, so when we got a break in the weather, he suggested that we check out 2 of the other town squares in the villages. Each town square has a large gathering place to dance to live music every night. Before we head to the third town square, the Hubs wanted to have lunch at Sumter Landing. He saw a lunch special that seemed like it was a good deal. We missed the special, but we decided to have lunch there anyway. I'm afraid we won't be giving a shout out to this lunch location. Could we see ourselves living there? It seems like everything you want is here. Regarding the cuisine, I think cheap dives with good food is more our style. 93% of the people living in the villages are Caucasian. I prefer diversity, but it was fun visiting. So let's keep the trend going and visit another couple of unique Central Florida towns. Mount Dora is a lakefront town with a bustling downtown full of captivating stores. The town is known for its events. There seems like there should be plenty of parking with several parking lots, but a space to park was hard to find. I can't imagine finding parking here when the large event is going on. We ended up parking on the street and spent part of our day just walking around. The next stop was just up the road from Mount Dora. A couple that took the eco tour with us told us about this place. When they mentioned seaplanes, that's all the Hubs needed to hear. Rides commence from the park, but Wooten Park is more than just seaplanes. It's bursting with wildlife. Alligators line the lake, and we saw a number of birds too. It has a great children's park and splash pad. Kinda wish our grandson was here. It's a great place to walk, and it butts up to Lake Dora. We were looking for a few trails to try. Bourlay History Nature Park in Leesburg looked like a good option. This 88-acre park was once home to Leesburg's founder, Evander Lee. For the past 100 years, the estate has been owned by one of Leesburg's pioneering families, the Brolays. A number of trails appropriate for hiking or mountain biking intersect through the park. Since the hub's bike needs a new battery, we opted to hike.
I don't know where this life will take me. I just know I'm here for the ride. Baby, there ain't no sense in waiting. Yeah, we don't know if we got the time. Oh, I'm just a country girl in a real big world. You can catch me on 65, driving to the mountaintop. I don't make no stops. Yeah, this town was once all that I knew. I'll never forget my roots. I'll never forget my roots. Maybe I'll end up in the city, underneath all the flashing lights. Maybe I'll be in a new country, but when I go to sleep at night, oh, I'm just a country girl in a real big world. You can catch me on 65, driving to the mountaintop. I don't make no stops. Yeah, this town was once all that I knew. I'll never forget my roots. I'll never forget my roots. I'll never forget my roots. I'll never forget my...
I can hear my joints creaking.
I love that this area of Florida has so many lakes. There seems to be water everywhere you look. We stopped by a restaurant overlooking Lake Harris for a quick bite to eat. Right next door is Venetian Gardens Park. We couldn't take the pup with us to Bourlay History Nature Park, but dogs are welcome here. The park is 64 acres sitting in a cove of Lake Harris. The park has a series of walkways with connecting bridges to little islands. It was a beautiful area packed with wildlife. There were several people out just taking a stroll through the area. When you're on a pontoon boat, you have a great vantage point to see out over the river. But when you're in a kayak, you become part of the river. It's a completely different experience, so we didn't hesitate to take our kayaks out on the dead river at Griffin Lake State Park. It was a great run.
Standing in the kitchen, I heard the doorbell ring. It's much too late to not be anything. Reluctantly I answered, got sucker punched again. A trail of breadcrumbs blowing in the wind. I went down that road again. I went down that road. I went down that road again. I went down that road. Driving to the airport, the rain was coming down. My memories were 6 feet underground. Then I see it exit 29 a mile ahead. My muscle memory takes the wheel again. I went down that road again. I went down that road. I went down that road again. I went down that road. I went down that road. I went down that
I've been seeing signs around some of the state parks warning campers how to handle bears, but I hadn't seen much in the way of bear deterrents like bear-proof trash receptacles. But the hubs can confirm there are bears here. While walking Sadie in the early morning, he saw a bear on this trail. This trail will lead us to the shining star of Lake Griffin State Park, the giant live oak tree. The live oak here is the second largest in the state of Florida and thought to be between 300 and 500 years old. That's one big trunk. Before we headed out, we stopped by this little place. Shout out to them for exceptional Jamaican food and good service. The Hubs is still talking about it. Join us next time as we head to Tomoka State Park and visit Ormond and Daytona.
I've decided to sell the vacuum cleaner. It was just gathering dust.